Can SLP make new all-time highs? Can it make anywhere near 10 cents, 50 cents, even $1? I'm going to be going over my full price action, price prediction for SLP Smooth Love Potion in today's video, giving you my full price targets for this bull run, going over exactly what's actually happened in these last few months of trading price action and how I expect the next few months and even this next bull run expected to last at least 1 year, where I'm expecting all these prices to go. So make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video, because I'll be going over SLP Smooth Love Potion in extreme detail. Make sure that you smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the notification bell. As I always begin when I'm first looking at a chart, I start on this weekly time frame. The weekly time frame really allows me to be able to scroll out of the chart and actually view what's happened over the last 6 months, over the last 1 year, even over the last 2 years of time price action, and even really add this strong moving average. You can see this is actually the exponential moving average with a length here of 20. So it uses the last 20 weekly bars to be able to display one dot in the EMA, and then it continuously plots. You can see I only ever want to be trading in the direction of the slope of the EMA. Super quickly, obviously in this last bear run, we had a massive decline. Obviously the slope of the EMA determines which direction we're going to be trading. Since it has a negative slope, we're only trading to the downside. And obviously every time we come back to this EMA, you can see actually using it as consistent rejection points, looking for even strong downside momentum. Right through back in this area was when we began to have a bit of a flip for SLP back in the end of 2023, really going until the beginning of 2024, did begin to go sideways. What we were really looking for is a support in this area with more continued momentum to the upside. But what actually happened in this area is we did actually have a form of a symmetrical triangle. So right in here, we had a form of a symmetrical triangle. Now what happens is when we get to the last third of the triangle, so you can break it up into thirds, that's where we always get the breakout. You can see right here where these two lines actually converge is known as the apex point. The apex point always gets retested. Either we have a big breakout to the upside and we come back to retest this apex point, or we have a big break to the downside and then we come back to retest this apex point. That's exactly what happens. We had this big break to the downside in this area. Now, where did we begin to find some rejection? We came right back to this apex of the triangle where these two converging lines meet. We then had that major downside movement. We really moved from this 0.005 region, we're now to this 0.002 region. So really a strong 50% decline in this area. You can see from current price, 59% decline. So this was definitely a strong trading signal. What we were expecting is in this area, not only to act as a support on the EMA, but also in this area, we did have a bit of a rejection before we had the big break to the upside. So there was a small support to resistance flip in this area. We could look to buy right on this support to resistance flip, but we only really made it basically a small pump to the upside, about 42%. A lot of times when you're trading this pattern, you're looking for a break above this high in this area, so that would have at least given 100% trade. So a lot of these patterns had actually been failing, and we can now see on the weekly time frame the current EMA is now sloping to the downside. So what it's now telling me is the long-term trend is not giving me a buy signal. What I'd really be waiting for is the trend to confirm, even have that continuous stair steps to the upside. And when that does happen, you will see that the EMA will begin to flick over and then finally flick to the upside and have that positive slope. And somewhere in these type of regions would where I'd be looking to enter. You'd obviously miss an initial pump to the upside, but in missing that initial pump, you actually allow yourself to get a higher probability trade. So you're trading in some small amount of profit to actually increase your probability of success. So there's many ways to actually be trading this. The way that I would be trading it is actually waiting for a high probability of success in this area. It would just confirm the overall trend, and then it'd make it a lot easier to actually be looking to buy and hold in this region. Obviously, if we came anywhere close to these lows right through here, that would be absolutely catastrophic for SLP. There definitely would be some type of support here where we'd get a breakthrough. A lot of people would get liquidated in this area, and then price would basically skyrocket back up. But I don't expect that to happen. But obviously there is some small probability chance that that can happen. That depends really what is going on in the worldwide economics. But overall, with the overall crypto market and Bitcoin currently looking okay, would expect this price to currently hold. So right now we're not currently buying SLP. As I said, we're looking to wait for that confirmation and a higher probability play. But if I was looking to buy, which I am, where would be some potential levels to actually be getting out of this trade? So obviously I'm not in the trade yet. I'll be entering the trade when price action actually confirms for me. But in the meantime, let's look at some regions to say, okay, when I'm ready to actually enter in a trade, well, I've already marked out clearly, even before I put any money on the line, some potential areas that would act as either support to resistance flips, high liquidity zones. So right in this area on this left-hand side, the first zone that really just strikes out to me is right through here. The reason that is because we clearly had a massive skyrocket to the downside. But right here in this area, we turned up absolutely huge. So we went from this region here, pumped all the way back to the EMA, 350% on that trade. So that wasn't just a small percentage move. It clearly shows that there was a huge amount of volume, a huge amount of demand, and a huge amount of buying right in this area here. So I would actually say that this is a high liquidity zone. A lot of the times what I do prefer is something like this, where we have 1, 2, 3 touches of a zone, and then we get the breakdown. It makes the support to resistance flip a little bit stronger. But when we see something like this, where we had a 350% pump to the upside, it's clear that this type of zone has some type of liquidity. And if any people had been caught out and had bought in their position and are still holding their position to this day, this would be somewhere that they're definitely looking to get out. So let's put a sideways bar right here, horizontal line. You can see this actually comes across, and we can even see how it actually nearly lined up right here with the region that has currently acted as our initial resistance. You can see right through here, we come across and nearly perfectly that initial pump on SLP has come into this zone. So obviously this would be a zone that an initial portion could be taken out. It's not obviously one of our final zones for SLP, but even if we make that price target to here, from our current prices, that's nearly 350% to the upside. That's just nothing to just say, oh yeah, 350%, that's nothing. That's a massive percent. A lot of people trading these instruments don't understand how big of a percent that is, because not only can you use leverage, but because you can actually trade a large capital size. This isn't a meme coin. It has a very large liquidity pool. So you don't have to be trading. So you can be trading much more than just thousands of dollars, potentially millions. When we're talking about millions of dollars, making a 350% gain, they're the types of moves that a lot of people are looking for, obviously depending on the trading capital. But the point is that these types of coins making these massive moves give you and allow you to come in with the amount of liquidity that you're after. It doesn't have to be millions, but whatever amount you're after. We can even see right here in this current region, as I did initially point out, we had that support. We came back in this region, had the support. We even came in this region again and had a massive pump to the upside, rejecting off this EMA before we had the continuation to the downside. You can see clearly this area acting as support, support, and support. But what happened? We got the major breakout to the downside, and even nearly acting as a perfect support to resistance flip. Here is initially the support area. We tried to come up for resistance. That was that 350% push, already a huge push, then acting from the downside. So as much as it didn't perfectly act as a support to resistance flip, even this first time, you can clearly see that this region overall was acting as that resistance, as much as it couldn't quite reach over to this price. So this would be the next zone that I'm really looking at. Right here being that support to resistance flip. These support to resistance flip plays huge liquidity loans when you come into these levels, you'll see you have massive spikes to the downside. Even here, you can see this first one. And when we come into here, I'm expecting a big push to the downside. That's why at least you want to take some profit out of the market. What it actually allows you to do, if we look to this move right here, that's a 2,600% move. Then you take some movement off. Say we have a little small 50% decline. You can then buy 50% extra tokens, and then you look to re-enter on your position. And even if you were to just sell back at where you owed, make another 100%, you can see how actually compiling these gains allows you to make a snowballing effect. Really, I've been learning this through meme coins and the technical analysis that I teach you all in my trading course. If you want to master meme coins or become a technical analysis master, make sure to check out my courses here. You can get in early, currently 50% off with the meme coin mastery and advanced technical analysis. Here in my advanced technical analysis, I deep dive into everything you need to know to become a super profitable trader in this current market. You can trade any asset class you want. Works fantastically for crypto. Go over live trades. Again, give you all of my strategies, basically 10 hours of trading content, and you can watch it directly here on my website. Make sure to check out the video description and comment section. So still a massive amount of potential for SLP, but again, I am waiting for the continuation and the confirmation of the trend. We have had a small break of this strong bull trend, now trending to the downside. So overall, just waiting for the trend to continue. I will make an update video when we begin to actually turn. Then I'll be looking to actually enter a position, and again, going over some potential price targets. Maybe price actually forms and we can form even more from that data. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the notification bell to stay up to date with all of the latest YouTube videos, and I'll see you in the next video.